Morning, glory, evening, grace, present, subscribe, everybody back on with us here with Temperance Awakening. And so now we're going to be doing our 9th vaping lecture, and it is day 2, though, of our therapeutic lectures, which are going to help people to quit vaping. And here in day 2, we're going to envision becoming an ex-vaper. Envision becoming an ex-vaper. And a visualization or guided mental imagery has profound benefits when practiced regularly. The process is simple. You form positive images in your mind in order to work toward a goal. When you picture something you want, you're conditioning your neural networks, the nerve cells that link your body to your brain, to recognize what you want to achieve. Like a lot of athletes, they use this technique all the time to boost their confidence, strength, and performance. While focusing on all their senses, they visualize and mentally rehearse their entire performance in vivid detail. Carly Lloyd, a star player on the U.S. women's soccer team, uses visualization and credits it with helping her on the field. While training for a World Cup game against Japan, she visualized herself scoring 4 goals. In the game, she kicked 3 balls into the net, the first woman in World Cup history to do so. Your brain is powerful and trainable. Visualization will enable you to tap into the power of your subconscious mind and help you see yourself becoming an ex-vaper. It also intersects with the law of attraction, which states that you have the power to attract into your life whatever you think about. Positive thoughts attract positive results. Negative thoughts invite negative outcomes. It might sound like nonsense, but it's not. What we believe, we can achieve. And today you'll start visualizing yourself as an ex-vaper. And the exercise that we have here will help you create the pathway in your neural network. So here's this visualization exercise. Sit in a quiet place in a comfortable position with your eyes closed. Keep your spine straight and breathe deeply as you relax your body. Focus on your goal to quit vaping. Imagine your future. You have achieved your goal of vaping no more. How does that look? Watch yourself moving through your day in as much detail as possible, engaging as many of the 5 senses as possible. Picture the answers to these questions. What are you wearing? What are you doing? What sounds do your inhaling and exhaling make? What are your surroundings? What do you hear? What can you smell? If you're eating or drinking something, how does it taste? Who are you with? How do you feel? Then if doubts come into your mind, acknowledge them. Now turn them into blue balloons and watch them float away, or crumple them up like a sheet of paper and throw them in the garbage. As you watch them disappear, repeat one of the mantras on page 74 of our book. And I'll read them here if you don't have the book. These mental mantras, a few things. Breathing in change brings me joy. See, we're bringing in that change. Energy and freedom. Got more energy, now have freedom from vaping. Once again, I simply stress freedom. We have freedom. I feel better with each breath. I've dumped my vape kit for good. It's never going to come back, and I'm never going to be attached to it again. I hold peace in breathing in as attended. I shall vape no more. I'm an ex-vaper. I'm happy and relaxed. I'm healthier by choosing clean air for my lungs. I'm in control. I am sturdy. I'm vape-free. Life, love, health. My lungs are clear and strong. And this technique gives you a powerful tool for overcoming your nicotine addiction. Begin by visualizing for 5 minutes a day, then gradually increase to 10 minutes. Use this technique every day during your quit and then whenever you need or want it. Experiment with visualizations too. Envision the same activities over and over, which can help cement success in your mind. Try different scenarios for variety if that keeps you more engaged, or do both and see what technique works best for you. Another tool that harnesses the power of visualization is a vision board. This can be as small as a sheet of paper or as large as a poster. And it'll help you see the changes you want in your life. And we're going to look at that in detail, a little bit of detail in just a moment, in activity. And here are our assignments for day 2. And the first one we've mentioned there, do your first visualization exercise for 5 minutes. And so, especially, like, even if you have the book, I kind of recommend you maybe to write these things down, you know, keep these things maybe in a little journal. I believe we might have mentioned that when we started. If not, I apologize for not doing so. I kind of should have. Of course, that's not necessarily required, but, you know, I would greatly, greatly recommend it. Especially, though, like, if you don't have the book, you know, like with the quick kit, you know, write these things down so you can go back and refer to it, you know, so that you don't miss anything. And in your quick kit, which is on page 159 of the book, write down how your life will look as an ex-Vaper. And if you have trouble with a visualization exercise, today on any other day, read aloud to yourself what you wrote. Okay, that's actually going to be on page 161. Our quick kit starts on page 159. But it just says there, like, on day 2, like, if you have the book, it's got space there for you to write. But like I said, even if you don't, like, maybe like in a journal, you know, a quick vaping journal, you know, write down day 2, envision becoming an ex-Vaper. Like yesterday, you know, we wrote down our quit date. And today, envision becoming an ex-Vaper. You know, how will your life look when you quit? Think about what will be different after you quit and describe those changes, you know, there in your journal. Or like, you know, in the book, if you want to use where the book's quick kit. And then take the commitment quiz. That's on page 162 of the book. And I'm going to read these things here once again, like for people that don't have the book. Which myths about vaping resonated with you and why? You know, we went over those back in our, you know, like introductory kind of lectures there. That was in our third and fourth vaping lectures. Are you addicted to nicotine? How does that make you feel? Do you know anyone who has had health problems because of vaping? What were they? Do you know anyone who has had health problems because of vaping? What were they? If your lungs could talk, what would they tell you? If your lungs could talk, what would they tell you? How will your life improve after you quit? How will your life improve after you quit? Now, as a percentage, how committed are you to quit right now? What percentage? And I encourage you to be honest about that. Then now we have our vision board that we mentioned that we're going to create. That's on page 163 of the book. You know, place it somewhere meaningful where you will see it every day to remind you of what you're trying to achieve. And we'll read over things like here with this once again, kind of give you some ideas. Of course, you don't have to follow this to a T, but, you know, try to do most of the things, all the things that you can here. You know, this is for you, you know, to help you quit vaping. And, you know, be creative as you can. You know, gather some supplies like scissors, glue. You know, of course, the board itself. Like I said, if you want to do that on a poster, you know, like a cardboard, you know, poster of some kind like that they have, or just a sheet of paper. Whatever, you know, you have there. Find a good, joyful picture of yourself from before you started vaping and print it out in color. And I certainly encourage you to do that. Then I'll flip through maybe some like favorite magazines or newspapers and tear out any images or words that appeal to you. Of course, you could also research that on the internet. You know, like if you're a person of faith, you know, like, you know, print off or write some Bible verses on it. You know, what have you. You know, some quotes, you know, some things that can inspire you. You know, scroll through maybe your favorite social media accounts and also print out in color any images or words that make you feel good about your future. You know, that could be happy photos of, you know, like your children if you have kids, you know, any loved ones. You know, images of activities that you want to do, pictures of places that you wish to visit, kind of like I said there, like quotes, that might inspire you. Anything that represents, a happy vape-free life. And glue your photo of yourself to the center of your vision board. Then arrange, those inspiring images, words, quotes, whatever around it, and glue those down as well. And so then lastly here, we'll kind of read something here kind of directly like to teenagers and parents of teens. Of course, this can be of a help, though, to anybody. Addiction gravely impacts the ability to focus, especially on teenagers. Some of the teenagers, young people who went through this same program, using the textbook curriculum that we have. They have said at first vaping make them feel more alert and attentive, but then their attention spans decrease. One high schooler had no trouble sitting through midterm exams, but after vaping for 6 months, he couldn't sit still because of the cravings, couldn't think of the answers to test questions, and he would just fidget. Visualization requires focus, so it may work better for adults than teenagers. If your child is having trouble doing the visualization exercise, taking the commitment quiz, or creating the vision board solo, get involved. Ask the questions first. Have your teen answer you aloud, and then prompt him or her with those same answers for writing down in the quit kit. Lend a hand with gathering and printing source material for the vision board, but make sure that your child is making the decisions about what to put on it. If you're having trouble facilitating an open conversation about vaping, try taking your teenager to see his or her pediatrician. And I'd encourage you, maybe even adults, if you're having some trouble, get somebody to help you. Of course, you could even email me if you don't have anybody else. Our email address is there, but, particularly, though, somebody close by, if you have a parent, friend, sibling, relative, or whatever, get some help if you're having trouble with it, There's nothing wrong with getting help. What's wrong is when people don't reach out for help. We know that with cigarettes, if a physician tells you not to smoke, that doubles your chances of quitting. Like we said there about seeing a pediatrician, teenagers love to challenge their parents, but they tend to show more respect for and listen better to other authority figures. That's kind of just how, everybody's made, especially young people. The pediatrician or a pulmonologist, talking about vaping without mom or dad in the room, might work, for some young people better than others. And so that's all of day 2. And like we mentioned, the book here, I know we've showed this a number of times, but we just want to show it again to remind people, the book that we're using. Quit Vaping by Mr. Brad Lamb. Encourage you to get it if you don't have it already. Very cost effective. You probably even find it used online for, even cheaper. And so as we said, though, our email address is there. If we can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out to us as well with our email address there. And we'll see everybody tomorrow as we get into day number 3 of our therapeutic lectures. They're helping people quit, so come on back and be with us, and we'll see you then. Until then, everyone, can the shadows flee away. I am Dr. Cooper, and I love you, and I appreciate you.